Good morning, guys. Raining pretty good. You join me in the back swamp. Just gonna go back to the big open marsh back here. Take a look and see if there's any movement. Shouldn't be any people in here. Rifle season starts today, but the property that we're on in the area here for the next 7 kilometers or so that way, there is no rifle hunting because it's too close to town. So there shouldn't be anybody in here, but let's go for a late fall walk in the rain. See if we hear any wood knocks or strangeness. I did bring the speaker if we want to do a little bit of hack shack or spirit boxing. And we're actually going in the opposite direction today of our main trail because there are a couple of guys over there that own the property that do bow hunt. So I don't want to interfere with their hunt and, Gage running up to their baits and stuff like that, their cameras. And so we're going to go this way instead today. Anything cool I find along the way, like that leaf that's covered in all kinds of little raindrops. You guys know me, I can't pass up an opportunity. I only have the phone today, but we're gonna stop, we'll take some photos. It's dreary, it's wet, it's cold. I love this time of year. The smell, just the fact that nobody else is out here, especially in the rain. Nobody else wants to go out in the rain anyway. What's going on here? I guess the rest of that one just rotted and fell down. This is a very significant ecotone is what they would call it. It's a switch between boreal forest and the southern deciduous forests. Right here, this is that zone that you get in between. Lowland wet, lake runoff, and this goes for miles, this stuff right here. I see some poles all leaning in on each other over here. This place to me has always had a native feel to it. I don't know if, full shiver down the back of my neck, first one. If this was a place, it's just waves of it. If this was a place that ancestral hunting grounds is what I just feel, because this is where the big bucks hang out, where people don't go. You never see bucks in my yard. I'll have 7 to 10 does in my yard every night. You never see a buck. They're back here in this stuff where people can't walk, where the predators can't walk, and they have deer trails all through here. And it just has a real native feeling to it. It always has to me. A lonely kind of feeling. Yeah, it's pretty wet, eh, buddy? Alright, so the deeper I go back here in the swamp, the deeper the swamp itself is getting. It's almost over my boots at this point. Oh, and then you break through. And you just pray your boots don't fill with water. I'm gonna try to head for a little bit higher ground here. It's getting wetter and wetter the further back we go. All right, we're coming back down to lowland swamp here and a big body of water. Starting to get a little hot, even though it's probably only 1 degree Celsius today. With the rain jacket on, the heat just doesn't get out. So I'm starting to overheat a little bit. Maybe we need to stop, sit down somewhere, and just run the hack shack for 5 minutes, give myself a break to cool down and just see if anything interesting comes through. Anybody out here walking with me today? this late fall wet hike. There's a shiver down the back of my neck. Alright, I know you're here. Use this device to communicate with me. What does Gage got here? A bone. You got some bones. That just said something. I'm not going to take it. You go ahead. You eat your bone. I'm not going to do this long today, so if you have a message for me, I'm working on a case right now. I'd like to hear from that person. If you could come through and say his name, I'd consider that some proof. Oh, the wind just picked up. Is this sacred land? Ancestral land? Full shivers down my neck. See a spot right here under this tree that I could probably sit. It looks pretty wet though. Very wet. So I won't bother sitting there. Alright, I'm going to give you 1 minute to come through and communicate, and if you don't, we're shutting this off. Alright, say goodbye, spirits. I'm turning the box off. As you guys can see, we're fogging up. The camera is so wet the buttons aren't even working to start and stop recording anymore. We're going to start heading back towards the house. Who knows? We might hear something yet. Haven't heard anything so far, but I mean, hearing is severely impaired with this hood up. Look at this deer trail. Look at that, guys. That is a deer trail. This is what I'm talking about. Why I feel, you know, this was a great hunting ground back here. We're actually heading towards one of the 2 stone boxes that are back here, which we believe are ancient native sites of some kind. We don't know what, but it doesn't make any sense. They were never fire pits, but they were square blocks placed in a circle, okay? And there are ancient sites down in the States that have these exact kind of configurations, and they said that these things are Paleolithic native sites. Yeah, there's a few deer tracks here in the mud. So I propose that we head over to the stone box and we just run the hack shack again for a minute, because we've only got one response so far, and this will just give them another opportunity to say something if they want. And I feel that that is an area of power, perhaps. Come on, up here. Let's go, up here. There it is, the stone box. Definitely placed here. And I send out energy into this box. Getting full shivers, guys. This feels like a place, like a portal. Just standing over top of this, staring down into that, that's what keeps going through my mind. Like an energy vortex portal. Did they worship here? Did they do ancient rites here? Did they pray here? I'm asking the spirits here that guard this place, what was this used for? Full waves of shivers. Ooh, big waves of shivers. Going right down my cheeks right now. Tell me about this place. Gage is still over there. Oh, he's got a whole jawbone there. Dude, that's disgusting. Gage. Very faint, and it faded out. He's got a whole deer jawbone there. It's pretty gross. That would not be a hunter kill. It's bleached. It's been out in the sun all summer. That would be a coyote kill. Come here. What do you got? Nothing coming through. I don't know. 2 responses in about 12 minutes of running this. Okay, I'll give you 1 minute, spirits. Sending out white light. Definitely a native feel to this place. I had a envisionment there of a ceremony, like in a smoke lodge. Do I just have a really good imagination, guys, or is there more to this? Full shivers down the back of my neck again. Mark that. I thought I just heard something there. Not coming out of this box, something over there, like a voice or something, I don't know. What am I hearing? Okay, so I don't hear anything on playback here, guys, but did you catch that? Watch Gage in the background. He turns and he looks in the direction that I think I'm hearing a voice from, and he looks over in that direction like he's heard something. I'll replay it for you. It's actually very steep up here. Hard to show on the camera, but and very slippery with all these wet leaves and pine needles. All of these are the fresh poplar leaves that have fallen this year. Anything with any yellow to it. Huh, I see a fresh break. What the hell? That came on by itself. Okay, do you want to talk to me? Super weird. I was just going to point out this break right here to you guys. Okay, it's not that fresh, but you know, maybe a month. That wasn't here before like that. Okay, you turned this back on. Did you want to tell me something? No. Okay, you're not bringing that home. Come here. Come here. Come here. Sit. 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 Mom will be so grossed out if you bring that home. Sit. Stay. Give. It's sharp as hell. All right, we'll just leave that there. Come here. You say you're sorry. You don't try to bite me. You better say you're sorry. Away you go. So Mr. Gage does have a temperament when he has food. He has been like that since he was a pup. If he has something he doesn't want you to have, I have had to tell the girls, you just leave him alone, because I don't think he would ever bite anybody. You never know with any dog, right? I mean, he's a very loving dog, but when it comes to guarding Like if we get him a rawhide or something like that, and you try to take it from him, oh, he just snapped at me when I tried to take that bone away from him. I think it's more of a bluff, it's just a warning. There's another broken stick right there. Okay, what's going on here? Looks about the same age as the last one, not real fresh, but definitely, you know, end of the summer. Anyway, Mr. Gage loves me. He just doesn't love me when I try to take his bones and chew toys away. And I know some of you are saying, well, why don't you just let the dog have it? Because that skull actually was very, very sharp. And I could see him cutting his gums on it as he was chewing it. So that, and the fact that if he brought it home, my wife would be utterly disgusted and tell me, why'd you let him bring that home? So I saved myself that fight, and I stopped Gage from hurting himself while chewing on that thing. He doesn't know it, but it's for his own good. I don't know if you guys can see this. Right here is also a deer trail. It's covered in fresh leaves, but every year they use this trail. It goes between those trees right there. Hey, look where we are, guys. I took a picture of that leaf an hour and a half ago when we walked by, so we just did a huge loop down there, back to the open wet swamp, and then back through here. Ended up in the exact same spot. And yes, I did throw my pack sack on, which has my knife, my compass, my GPS, some water, and all of that stuff. Didn't need any of it today, and that's just a good example. If you know the woods and you know your property, I don't need to pull my GPS out here. Now I have it. If I get in a bind, I do have my home location saved. And if you pull out on the GPS screen far enough, you're going to hit lake over there, probably 4 miles. You're going to hit highway over there, probably 4 miles. And only the north-south run is where it's just woods. So that's why I don't worry about taking out and marking any of that stuff here, because this is my home stomping grounds. But you should do that. If you just get out of the truck, guys, and you're hunting in a new place, I take my GPS and I mark the truck 100% of the time. Even if you know that area, you've been hunting it for 25 years, I've gotten turned around in places that I thought I knew. And if you just mark the GPS location of the truck, turn the GPS off, you can put it back in your pack sack. You don't have to turn it on again. You can walk 100 miles, you can walk 1,000 miles in any direction, and all you have to do is turn that GPS back on and say return to point where the truck was, and it will take you right back. So you don't have to have it on wasting battery power as you're walking around. You can do that if you want to leave a waypoint of tracks to show, hey, I found a cool bear den or something and I couldn't remember exactly where it was. You can have that waypoint feature on and it'll track exactly where you walk, but I don't use any of that. And for those of us that are old school, it's like kids that didn't have phones when they grew up. We remembered everybody's phone numbers. Well, the same thing applies when you're out in the bush. You're better off to turn that stuff off, not rely on that, be looking at a screen as you're walking. Use your eyes and your ears and pay attention to where you're going. There's a ridge, there's a gully, there's a rock line over there, there's a lake down there, right? And if you do that, then you can wander around like I do and know where you're going. I hadn't planned on coming right back to the same place I took that picture, but hey, that's just the way the mind works, right? I know where I am, I know where I'm going. And so for Class V and Chad and a couple of these other guys that want me to get out in the woods hunting, the next 2 weeks is deer season, I just might, because today kind of makes me just wish I was out there sitting on a log quietly just waiting, you know, and I do want me some deer sausage, so Grant and I might get out yet. For those of you that wonder about wiping Mr. Gage down, he has to be brushed. Look at this. He gets brushed every day, and look at how much is coming out of there. And then when he's all muddy like this, you got to give him a good toweling off.